And this is the Death Knight Tell Me When profile for patch 7.0. Now, Death Knights are a pretty fun class right now. They have a lot of cool stuff they can do. Very powerful AoE, very good single target, and lots of cleave. These profiles are, however, set up for single target rotations, and they work well for the single target. Frost is unique in that they have a very different and robust AoE potential, and it changes your rotation quite a bit. So I would recommend anybody who wants to play Frost to go read up, see how the rotation changes and what spells have higher priority. All the spells that are important are going to be in the center of your screen, and any talents you take will be represented there. But it does change, and the priority of when you cast spells and things like that will alter. Now, everything in the center of your screen is based on maintaining, using your runes as they come off cooldown, but also maintaining the most efficient way to get runic power. You never want to spend or use an ability if you're going to overcap on runic power, and this should never do that. It should always get you to exactly 100, but never 101 or higher. So you can go ahead and follow the center of your screen, and it should be efficient. And I put the Glacial Advanced talent on the left there because you may not want to use that in your rotation. You might want to hold it off for an AoE portion or something like that. So the information is there on the screen if you need it. Otherwise, you can just use it on cooldown. Another strange thing with Frost right now is with the Tier 18's 4-piece. With the Frost Scythe talent dealing 4 times the crit damage, and that 4-piece refunding the Killing Machine, it comes to be that every time you get a Killing Machine proc and you have that 4-piece, you're going to want to use Frost Scythe. I didn't program that in, but if you have the 4-piece, you can either make a mental note or you can just change the icon picture so you get a better idea. Now, with the Obliteration talent, the way it's supposed to work is it's Frost Scythe, or sorry, Obliterate, Frost Strike, Obliterate, Frost Strike. You just rotate the two, and it'll flash for you when you have above 50 runic power, which would let you basically get the maximum amount of attacks in there in its duration and really benefit from the damage. And it will go ahead and do that for you. Now, for Unholy, just like Frost has a bunch of talents that change the way that you play. It makes it so that you do more AoE damage, more than this, that, and the other. The more generic talents like Shadow Infusion, Soul Reaper, and Dark Arbiter change the rotation the most. So I'm using Dark Arbiter right now, and as you go in, you know, it'll go ahead and make it so that you store up as much runic power as you can, at least 90 runic power, so you can use that for Dark Arbiter and get at least 3 casts of some spells off, and then Dark Coil off, so you can buff her up. Ideally, you want to get about 5 or 6 of them off, and you should be able to do that under a normal rotation. And then the rest of the rotation is just simple using Skirt Strike and Festering Blow, or I think that's what it's called, to get your damage out. Now, when it comes to Shadow Infusion, if you have the talent, it will have you store up a little bit of extra runic power, so you can do a few extra Death Coils in a row, and you'll use up procs and everything else in between, so you can get that ability off cooldown sooner. Now, one other thing about this spec is that there is 2 rotations. There's one for if you use Soul Reaper and one if you use Dark Arbiter. Both of them are here, depending on what talent choices you've made. If you took the Soul Reaper ability, then it will have you do that rotation. Otherwise, it'll just be the standard rotation with some modifications for Dark Arbiter. But yeah, I hope that you guys like what you see, and I will catch you guys next time.